everybody, it's been a little while again. I do my vlogs a little bit more infrequently these days. I just really don't have the time to do a lot of them, and with my heavy schedule. So I just wanted to update you on how my weekend with Tam, Tamara Laporte and Jane Davenport went. And you can see behind me my beautiful girl. I'll just move this way. She's just propped up on my watercolour desk at the moment behind some twigs on a current project I'm working on, doing quick twig collages. And she's huge. She's a half sheet size of Fabriana waterpaper. For the full size is a really big sheet. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never worked this big, but I loved it. Just made it much more interesting to work really big. I personally believe it's easier to work big than it is to work small, because you can put all these beautiful fine details in the larger work that you can't put in small. But I have to say, Tamara Laporte is probably one of the nicest, kindest people I've ever met in my life, and I am the richer for having met her. And we did hit it off really well. She is such a funny person while being kind and compassionate, all in the same thing. And her voice is very soothing, and I just basked in the whole Tam and Jane glow for the whole weekend. Had the most fabulous weekend, like probably I would say one of the best weekends I've ever had in my life. It was just lovely from beginning to end. There was nothing bad in it, and I just had the best time, really the best time. And that for me made everything worth it. These weekends don't come particularly cheap, although they're much cheaper than some other weekends, and I felt like I'd come away with exceptionally great value for money. And the experience, my hair's pulled back today, I'm having a bad hair day, and when I teach art I like to have my hair pulled back because I constantly wipe my hair while I'm looking over onto someone's work. The joys of being an art teacher, I guess. And I came home really reinvigorated to do a lot of different things. I've just found out my Brave Girl workshops for 10 girls between 12 and 17 years old are a go and have been approved. I've got 2 workshops, one in July and one in September, maybe more at this point. And that's going to feed into a slightly larger project that I'm hoping that I can get some regional art development funding for, to work with photographer Amy Wormwell, and we're looking at creating the Brave Girls that my girls paint. We're hoping to create them and photograph them with body artists and do an exhibition to really give our girls a voice. And these are girls that might come from immigrant, non-English speaking backgrounds. Where I live, we have 217 nationalities in my city, and we are a big melting pot of newly arrived immigrants coming in and more established immigrants, and that makes for a really interesting set of dynamics for Logan City. So that being said, I want to give those girls a voice, because a lot of them don't tell their stories and their parents speak for them, or they are silent completely, or they feel like they can't speak because they've got no they haven't got great language skills yet, that kind of thing. And for our girls that have had interesting, all their lives are really interesting, so these workshops are teaching them all about being brave and the context of what bravery means for young girls, teenage girls in today's society, with all the different challenges that they have. So I'm like, I can't wait to get my teeth into that. I'm doing some custom stencils for that, and they've already gone off to a friend of mine that makes my stencils for me. And I'm hoping that out of those workshops that there will be a groundswell rising to help that Brave Girl movement move forward more in a real practical sense in Logan City, and looking at getting funding. I now know 3 councillors and the mayor on Logan City Council that have just been sworn in on Wednesday, and they are all great supporters of the work that I do. So I might be able to get support from counsellors and sponsorship for girls to go on courses and to do things like that. But it's a very exciting time, and I'm really excited to be able to put these programs together and be part of that change movement in helping girls' self-esteem and not being so focused on looks, being focused on those strengths within that we kind of discount as not being important until we get a bit older and we've already been scarred by life so much. And a lot of these girls were already severely scarred by life. And I just want to say, you know, like, this is about giving girls tools to be comfortable in their own skins, to know what they want out of life, to know that they matter, to know that they're here for a reason. They might not know what that reason is yet, but they're here, and that they matter in it. And just like Tamara was saying in the most recent Lifebook lesson, there's a ripple effect, and that one small action that you take might not be even directly linked, but somebody may see it, hear of it, and then change, and then that ripple effect keeps going. And so you never know the impact that you have on the world. We can never really know that. Often we don't find that out until someone dies at a funeral or something like that, and even then I don't think we know the full scope. But even so, like, that is a great project, I think, that I'm going to really enjoy doing. And I'm having a lot of fun with developing my art courses. Today, it's not going to be a long vlog because I've got to run off and teach some art this afternoon, and that's fun because I'm getting my students at Canefield Clubhouse ready for an exhibition on mental health, and they're working on some paintings at the moment and some work to be exhibited, and I'm looking forward to doing that and working with them and getting their work ready for gallery exhibition, which is awesome. And I really am enjoying this line of work, but then again I'm also wanting to study again. So I'm starting a Masters in Social Science based in Psychology and Fine Art in July, and I'll be dipping my toe in the water of that, and I hope to get that done as quickly as I can. I did get 12 months credit for the diploma that I did, so I managed to get that done in 6 months and accelerated my process, and then I get 8 units credit, which is equivalent of 12 months worth of work at uni, so that's awesome. And I'm really excited about that. So I just kind of think that all the things that come up in your life, like that, being bold and moving in those circles and grabbing hold of opportunities that you may not think you're qualified for sometimes. I know that's particularly true of me. I like to think that I'm really qualified for those opportunities, but sometimes it requires boldness and a little bit of risk, and we can go in and create better, bigger, more amazing ripples by taking hold of those opportunities. And so I encourage you, whatever small opportunities come your way, try and take hold of those opportunities and make the most of them. You never know where they will lead, and then you will live life less with regret. I make it a practice to, as I was talking to Tam, we've been emailing back and forth this week, and I reminded her, you know, that I'm choosing to associate great memories with positive emotional charges, and this workshop and that painting is a positive emotional charge for me. And so the memory of that will not fade because I have the artwork, I have photos, but I have the artwork, and I have all the effort that I put into the artwork. And I actually wrote my thoughts on that painting and about how that weekend affected me and what it meant in the scheme of my life. And that for me is a really important kind of process, and I love it. So I think too, it's about connecting with other people that are like-minded. So I really enjoy being like-minded and engaging in activities that are similar, that are like-minded, that I love. And that is important to me. And so choosing to go and spend my time with these kinds of people has done amazingly good things for me. And I'm much happier for it, and it's like my soul food, you know, and I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to sign off for today. Now make sure you learn something new today, because it does keep you young, and because it does nourish you, and because you never know what you're going to learn next. Ciao for now, and see you next week. Bye.